Hey guys, Big Yacker here. Last night before I went to bed, I just by chance looked at my YouTube channel to see that I had over 100 views from you guys on the Vibe Kayak SeaGhost 13 video. For that, I want to thank you, and also I would like to put out another video, a specs and features video of the Vibe Kayak SeaGhost 13. This video is going to go in depth about everything that comes on the kayak from the warehouse, from the shop. John and Josh from Vibe Kayaks, awesome guys, and they hook every single one of their customers up as soon as it comes out of the shop. So without further ado, let's get into it.
I'm going to give you guys a quick span of the kayaks. The orange one is my wife's, and the Appalachian camo is mine. Like I said, pretty much everything you see on these kayaks come with the kayaks. Alright, so starting from the front, moving our way to the back, I'm going to start out with the drain plug. The drain plug is at the extreme front of the kayak. That way it's extremely easy to just kind of tilt it up on its front end and drain any water that just by chance might end up coming up into the kayak, into the hull. I haven't heard any bad reviews on people having any type of water drain into their kayak, but just in case, there you go. Moving a little bit further back, we have our front handle. Very, very sturdy handle. I mean, it's built to last. There is a little bit of a design to the front. It's not just the hatch. Whenever I got the kayaks dropped off, it was told to me that these actually used to be flush to the kayaks, which until you start going in through the waves and whatnot, you will have an issue with the water splashing up in here and getting into the hole. Well, what they've done is they've actually raised the front hatch off the kayak, making it, you know, it's actually raised a little bit so it's not flush anymore. And what that allows it to do is the water is not just draining into the hull of your boat. It's an extremely easy latching system. No rubber thing that you got to pull up and then, you know, knock all the way back down. So one-handed, we got 1, 2, open. All right, when you want to close it, 1, 2, closed, and it's sealed. All right, I'll go ahead and take a look inside. This is removable. It's probably not going to show up very well on the video. If I look into the hull, it'll probably just all be black. But this does come out, as you can see. Pretty much right now, all we have inside of it is my wife's fish grips and some scupper plugs and just miscellaneous gear for when you're actually out there fishing. Alright, one thing I do like about it is you're not just going to have standing water sitting in this liner, because as that water comes up, it's going to brush off to the side and actually go where it's supposed to be. This little notch cut out right in front of your center console is for whenever you might be sight casting and you see that big old red trailing in the water with the tail sticking out. You want to go ahead and set your paddle down as fast as you can and cast where that red is spotting. And instead of, you know, having to sit there and unlatch it and see, fiddling around with it and getting all that, you put it in here, you let it set. If you got a paddle leash, you ain't got to worry about losing your paddle. So set it right there. You're done with it. You can forget about it and you can start casting away. Alright, moving a little bit further back, hit into our center console. Like I said, this is the only thing that's on the kayak that does not come from the shop. Alright, very easy. One-handed, guys, one-handed. Open it up. And again, we have one more thing that's not from the shop, an anchor. But this is your center console. You got varying sizes of little compartments that you can put your stuff in here. In my kayak, which I'll show you over on the other side, this is where I keep my scupper plugs. This is where I'll keep my soft plastics. This is where I'll keep my jig heads. And also on my kayak, this is where I keep my anchor. My wife, she's not a huge fan of soft plastics, so that center console just kind of goes unused for the most part. They have it etch-a-sketched in on top in inches and centimeters. Inches go up 20 inches. Centimeters go up to 50 centimeters. You have 7 pre-placed Scotty mount rod attachment hole things. All they do is slip right in, you cast out, put your rod right there, and hold on. Alright, you also have, I don't know if you'll be able to see them very well, but you have little notches that are drilled in, and those are for GPS, those are for fish finders, anything that you might have to drill to the kayak. It's right there, it's ready to go. You can actually see 2 of the scupper holes. There's 2 right on each side of your foot area. One here, and 2 over here. You also have 2 underneath your seat. Right here, right here. That's kind of a whole bunch of leaves down there at the moment. And then also going back to the center console real quick for the last thing, you have your cup holder. And that cup holder is no skinny cup holder. It's not just going to hold those 16-ounce bottles. If you want to bring on a fountain drink or something like that, it does fit comfortably in that cup holder. All right, moving on to this right here. The foot pedals slash rudder pedals. There was actually a design flaw whenever they first come out, and they have since fixed it. A very good idea. They have made this running board right here. What this actually runs on is now metal. This is all plastic. Before, it was all just very hard plastic. On occasion, as you're pushing forward or sliding it back and forth, it would get caught up. Now there is no issue with that at all because it's metal on plastic. These are very easy to adjust. It's the simple, take your finger, pull it out, and slide it back and forth. Alright, so that's very simple. And this comes pre-ran with the stringers that go back to the rudder. So there's no issue with having to try to figure it out. The only thing that you have to do is tie the knot to keep it in place. Now we're moving back to our first set of flush mount rod holders. You have one on this side, and they stick out towards the front side of the boat. Front side of the boat. You also have one on this side. All right, sticks out that portion of the boat. Those are great for trolling. Now these handles, I know, like I said on the front, very simplistic. It is just a handle. I mean, how do you make a handle great? I can tell you how you make a handle great. You center it in the middle of the kayak. That way, whenever you are carrying it, it does not tilt forwards or backwards. They have centered it perfectly in the middle. That way, you do not have any rocking back and forth whenever you're carrying your kayak. This right here is the upgraded seat. This is the feel-free seat. It's extremely thick padding, and it's extremely comfortable. Anytime you have an issue with Feel Free, I've never heard anything bad about their customer service. If anything does by chance go wrong with their seat, you call them and they are on it. Alright, moving a little bit further back, we have our next 2 flush mount rod holders. These will go more towards the back of the boat. I consider these more for like transportation because it's more of a pain in the butt to reach behind you to grab a pole that's now taut by a fish. So these are more for transportation. This is pretty much, I would consider this like your extended storage. Things that you're not necessarily going to need while you're on the kayak, but you need to take on your kayak, such as your keys, your wallet, your phone. You need to invest in one of these guys right here, either a GoPro or I think they're called Ions. You need to go ahead and get one of them. They're awesome. They make life a lot easier, and you can mount them wherever you feel fit to mount them. But like I said, this is on the kayak, so I will go over it. Alright, again, this thing pops right out. No issue at all. Alright, so now you have a spot for your phone, your keys, your wallet. whatever you may have to put in there that you, like I said, you need to take on the kayak, get it out of your truck or get it out of your car, however you're hauling it, and it needs to be on the kayak with you. Go ahead and place it in there. Alright, so we got that. Moving a little bit further back, we're going to hit on our last 2 scupper holes. So there's 8 scupper holes in total, the bungee system. Now I will go over something that again is very simplistic design, but it makes sense. These right here, you don't usually see these type of this type of hardware on kayak, and instead of having it where this is all solid, or maybe you'll have to take this out and then run it through, there's actually little slots that you can go ahead and you pull your bungee tight into, and it sticks. You can place whatever you need to in here. Me and my wife enjoy going camping, so a lot of the time we'll go ahead and we'll place our camping gear in there. So nice and sturdy, easy to get into. This does fit milk crates. This does fit. I know a lot of people that are actually now they're giving up their milk crate and going for 5-gallon buckets, and getting the, I think it's Husky brand, the Husky brand bucket organizer that you'd see on a construction site, and putting it in there, and that's working out great for them. A little bit further back, you have your little clip system. If by chance you do want to redo the order of the bungees or how they're set up, you can go ahead and undo these. And the rudder. Alright, take into consideration everything that I'm showing you comes on the kayak. The rudder has the bungee to keep it down during transportation. It has a little slot that it sits in so it doesn't move back and forth. Alright, so we go ahead and pop that back up. And then we have our last handle. This is our 4th handle. There's one on each, pretty much one on each side. Your rudder system. Alright, and I'm actually going to show you this last side of the kayak over on my kayak. So we're going to move over to the Appalachian. Alright, so this is the other side of the rudder. We'll go ahead and drop that down. Flip it over into the water. And this is something that's pretty cool. Instead of just popping it down, I know this is on a lot of other kayaks, but this is something that you have to usually purchase if you buy your own rudder and put it on your kayak. Running string. Now this does need to be tightened up. It has been on there for a little while, so it's starting to kind of loosen up. But if you pull these, this will actually lift the back rudder. So now your rudder is actually in the hole. Your rudder is actually in the hole, not going anywhere, and it's, like I said, it's for transportation purposes. If you're not wanting to use your rudder, you can go ahead and pull it back, put it into the water, or pull it back up and put it down in. It's very, very, very simple.
Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you had any questions, hopefully the video answered your questions. Give the guys at vibekayaks.com a call, or visit the website, like I said, vibekayaks.com. Awesome kayak. Definitely do not regret going out on a limb and getting these things. $799 per kayak. They come with the rudder, they come with a seat, they come with a paddle. They're ready to fish. So if you're a beginner, an intermediate, or consider yourself a pro, try them out. You will not regret it. And until next time, Big Yacker signing out.